Hello and welcome to the Piedmont Technical Experts podcast, Geeks Keep You Running, your go-to source for all things technology. I'm your host, Jonathan, and today we're diving into a topic that is very important, and that is talking about backing up your BitLocker recovery keys. So let's dive right in. Who has seen a screen like this before? This is the BitLocker recovery screen. And it will typically be shown if you've moved a hard drive from one computer to another, or you've made a hardware change like swapping out your motherboard. So let's talk about what is BitLocker. It's the drive encryption native to Microsoft. It's designed to prevent someone from taking your hard drive from one machine and hooking it into another and being able to read your data. So it is a security measure that would require someone to steal your entire computer and not just the hard drive if they wanted to steal your data. You will also get prompted for a recovery key if you move your hard drive from one machine to another through normal maintenance or upgrades, or if you replace your motherboard, would be another example of when you would get prompted for a recovery key. And again, these are just some examples of when you would get prompted for a recovery key. Moving your hard drive, booting your computer outside of Windows will sometimes prompt for a recovery key. Typically, you would see that if you were doing a password recovery, for instance, and after a motherboard replacement. So the question that I get asked frequently is, what can you do if you don't have your recovery key? Pretty much you are reloading the operating system at that point, and you have to recover your data from a backup or hope that your data is already stored somewhere in the cloud. Ways to back up your BitLocker recovery key. I'll be showing you how to back up your recovery keys in just a moment, but there are 3 ways that you can back up your recovery keys in Windows. You can make a hard copy by printing it out. You can save a copy to an external drive like a thumb drive. Or you can back your key up to Azure Active Directory if you're running a professional or higher edition of Windows. If you're running a home edition of Windows, you'll only have the option to print the key or back the key up to a thumb drive because the version of BitLocker is different on a home edition versus a professional edition of Windows. So let's dive right in and take a look at how to recover a BitLocker key or back up your BitLocker recovery key. Alright, so I'm here at my desktop and I am going to go to the Start menu and I'm going to type in Control to open the Control panel, and I will launch the Control panel. Alright, from the control panel I can come up here to my search bar and I can type in BitLocker and I can do Manage BitLocker. Alright, and right here I can suspend protection, I can turn off BitLocker. These options will require admin rights to your machine to be able to do that. Specifically what we want to do though is back up your recovery key. So I'm going to hit back up recovery key. And that brings up this box right here. So as you can see, we have 3 different versions. If I do print recovery key, I will start there. I will select the printer and I will hit print. Okay, and if I want to save to a file, I hit Save to File, and it'll bring up a file. Now, BitLocker will not allow you to save to a local drive. If I select C and browse into just any folder here and hit Save, it will generate an error. So I have to hook up a thumb drive, and I will be able to back up the drive then. So I will run through this again now that I have a USB thumb drive plugged in. I can see this, and I can now save this to my computer, and I'm also just going to add in a name that lets me know what this is to. And I save, and now I've saved it to a file. The final way you can do this is save to your Azure AD account. And I've already tied my Azure AD account on to this machine, so all I had to do was click Save to Azure AD, and now it's backed up to my Azure Active Directory account. Everyone at Piedmont Technical Experts hopes you found this episode of Geeks Keep You Running informative, and if you need help managing your BitLocker keys, we are certainly here to help. Thank you to all our listeners out there, and please message us if you have questions or would like a specific tech topic covered in a later episode. Have a great week.